us too. I'm not sure since we recorded the last one. And then I'm just going to go through the PowerPoint a little bit here. So the online and the hybrid course templates is what we're talking about today. And these were developed primarily by Raleigh to kind of help streamline the process of online course design. And I think they're really great. We use them in the IOCD that Jesus just finished. So it will look familiar to him. In this workshop, we're going to talk about not just kind of what the Canvas templates are, but we're going to look at two different ones. One for online, which, like I said before, is also very helpful for face-to-face, and one for hybrid teaching, and then how to obtain those templates. Anybody at PAC, you don't have to take a specific training, can access those templates. So the main thing about a template is, and if you've ever used one of these like in Word, maybe you've wanted to create a flyer, or you've wanted to create a calendar or something, and you've gone into Word and you've chosen a template that already exists, a calendar. A lot of people use calendar templates. When you go into Canvas to create a course, you just get it literally an empty canvas, and there's nothing in it. There's no pages. You have to create every page. You have to insert everything. And so what the template does is it kind of pre-designs the structure for you. And so then you already, when you open it up, you already have a home page established, because in a blank canvas, you have to tell it which page you want to be the home page. You already have a Start Here module, orientation module with a lot of student resources, which legally we have to make sure students have and understand the help that they can get. And then you also have your learning modules already in there for you. So then all you have to do is import your data. So the big advantage of the template is you're not getting just a blank canvas. It's kind of like the paint by numbers when we were little. We could still choose the coloring, but we didn't have to figure out how to draw the pony, right? So that's the advantage of using a template. So the difference between the online and the hybrid: the online is supposed to be used just for online only. You don't need them face-to-face at all. The hybrid is got sections in the module that distinguish between this is what we're doing online and this is what we're doing face-to-face. And that's what a hybrid class does, is it divides it, and you meet half and half. And so this is the course definition of a hybrid. It's a distance education course in which a majority, which is more than 50 but less than 85% of the planned instruction occurs, excuse me, when the students and instructors are not in the same place. So you're requiring that to be done on their own via the internet or some other way. All right, so here's just a quick little look at some of the things that I just mentioned are advantages of the template. So here's what a home page looks like. So when you get your template, your home page is already designated. It's already got our Palo Alto stamp on it. And then you just fill in the blank. So we're here where it says course name and, that didn't work. Course name and instructor name. You just fill in the blanks. And then down here, you just fill in all these blanks. What's your email? What are your remote office hours going to be? But all the titles are already there for you. All the formatting's already there for you to help with people who are using screen readers. So you don't have to worry about all that formatting as well, which can be time consuming, those of you who have created Canvas courses. And then there's a Start Here module. So this is the first page they go to after they see your home page. And so on here, we've already created all of these pages for you. And so you can see the things that are in red over here. These are the pages where you're going to add your information. And we'll look at that closer when we go into the example of the templates. But we've already created these pages. And so you're going to tell the students how to get started on this page. And there's more fill in the blank like you did on the home page. This is a welcome from the instructor. This is the course schedule with due dates. So especially when you do an online course, and I know lots of you do it with your face-to-face courses, you go ahead and give them a schedule or an agenda of the whole semester. And so they know when their midterm's going to be, and they know when their labs are all going to be, and they know when their major assignments are going to have to be turned in. And so this is one-stop shopping, right? The students can go to this course schedule and they can see exactly what's to come and what's expected. to hopefully help them meet all of those due dates. And then this is contact information. And this is really helpful because I actually recently took a course where I had to really dig to find how to contact the person running it. It wasn't easy for me to find. So we want that to be easier for them to find because we want them to contact us if they need help. And then down here, we have all these student resources, which is already there for you. You don't have to find all this. This has links to all the things that can help them, to disability services that we offer, links to the library, especially if you're wanting them to do any kind of research. This is a link to the library, which then helps them know where all the databases are. This is a link to student support services, the tutoring services that we offer. And we offer great tutoring services at Palo Alto, but sometimes students don't know about them. They could be getting more help for your subject. This is our academic integrity tutorial, talks about plagiarism, which we all know we struggle with, and sometimes they struggle with understanding, especially in an internet searching, cut and paste society. And then this is the netiquette page, really important that they understand what is the online behavior, because it's different. They're used to knowing how to behave in class. That started in kindergarten, right? You said you are respectful, you wait your turn, you raise your hand, etc. They need to know what's acceptable online because it's not the same as what they do on social media. A lot of what they do on social media isn't what you want them to do in the online classroom. So this is just a little review for them. And this is what is allowed. This is what is acceptable. And then any technical help they need. And this is one of the biggies because they're having to learn to take classes online, just like we're having to learn how to teach online. So give them resources of how to work in Canvas so that they can get help if they need help in those areas. And then the third thing, remember we mentioned that's good, is the learning modules are already in there for you. So the first module that's in there is just a bunch of examples. So this gives you an example of each type of page that you can have in your learning modules. You do not have to have all of these in every learning module. These are just examples for you so that you can see what they look like. And you can copy and paste these pages into another module if you want to, or you can create just a new one if you want to. But each module will have an overview and a wrap-up page, and that's in this example. And then this is an example of a content page. And the content page is kind of like where they get the information about your subject. So this could be a lecture. This could be your PowerPoint. This could be any PDFs you want them to read. Oh, video links to things you want them to watch. TED Talks, blogs, whatever they need to learn that topic. It goes in these content pages. And a lot of times people typically have more than one content page. And then here's an example of a quiz if you want to quiz them. And in this example, it gives you all the different quiz question types that you can have, which is very helpful. So you can see it's not just multiple choice and true false. There's a myriad of things you can do with your quizzes. This is an example of a discussion, online discussion, and then an example of an assignment page. So an assignment page is when you give them something to do and they're going to have to submit something to you, like an essay or a picture or a project, a Google Slides, something like that. And then after that one of examples, then we have just these blank modules, which have your overview, a content page, and a wrap-up page. And then you can add whatever more you want on there. So why use a template? Because we're all smart, right? We can design lessons from scratch. It's very easy. It's very user-friendly. It's plug and play. You don't have to download any extra software or anything. You plug it into your Canvas and it's ready to go, and you fill in your content. So you're not spending all your time trying to format everything. You can modify it as needed. You can delete pages you don't need. You can add pages that you want. It's very easy to use. It saves you a lot of time. You can get all of your stuff in there, and then as you go, if you want to change your formatting, or you want to add more pictures, or you want to add another content page, you can do that, but it gets it up and running for you, which saves you a lot of time. It meets Palo Alto's online course design guidelines, which if you're teaching an online course, it should have been, Jesus is in the waiting room. He must have gotten kicked out. I let him in. It meets our online course design guidelines. It meets web accessibility standards, and this is the legality of what we have to meet so that all students have access. So it already meets those standards according to the law and following some of the QM standards that we follow. It makes course reviews easier and more assured that you'll get approved because it's organized and it's formatted in a way that already meets our guidelines. And it promotes consistencies for students and courses. And what I like about that is you can still make it your own, because we're not telling you how to teach your subject, or it's not telling you how to teach your subject. It's just helping you format it in a way that students can easily find all the content that they need. And then across the board, so if all of their classes are similar, they all know there's a homepage, they all know there's an orientation page where they can find the syllabus, or they can find your contact information, then they're not spending all their time trying to figure out how to take your subject. They're spending their time in the content of your subject. And that's really what we want them to do, because when we're face to face, we walk in the room and we have their attention and we're only dealing with our subject matter, right? They're not having to figure out, how do I sit in a chair, right? That seems really silly, but that's kind of what some of them are having to figure out with online education. How do I open this? How do I respond to this discussion? And so in this template, when we have all that for them, they're not having to figure that out. They can just spend their time focusing on the content and learning, mastering their learning objectives with you. So in the PowerPoint, which Raleigh said he sent out, there are links to examples of both of these templates so that you can see. So let's look at this first one, which is, what's that, all these other, you can't see that. I need to share.
You'll have to reshare your screen.
Yeah, let me reshare. This one. Nope, it's not got a green box, so you're not seeing that. Let me try again. New share. This one. There we go. So y'all can see the template now?
Yes.
All right, so like I said, here's the homepage. This is a demo of template 4, version 4, and you just fill in all the highlighted stuff and then remove the highlighting. And I say that because I know we think, oh, I highlight things that I want to pop off the page. But if people are using screen readers, they're not going to see that highlighting. So they're not going to get that. And we don't want to highlight things that, we don't want to use color to express meaning, because not everyone can see that color, right? So if things are important, you need to change it to like something besides just highlighting. And if everything's highlighted, it starts to lose meaning, right? So delete the highlighting when you add in your information. But all you're going to do is go through here and click, 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 and put all your stuff in. It tells them how to get started, so you don't have to do that for them. Yes, sir. Lance.
Is that a regular page?
This is a regular page. This is the home page.
It looks cream colored rather than the white.
It's just a regular page. I don't.
Okay, you didn't do anything to color the background.
No, sir.
Because I've been trying to figure out how to do that, and it hasn't worked.
No, I know. We want to do all the bells and whistles like we do for PowerPoints, but the good thing too about using a white background is, especially if you have students with color differentiation issues, it makes it really hard for them when the contrast isn't black on white. Another reason not to highlight everything, because it becomes really hard for some people to read, differentiate that. I'm about
as color challenged as you can get. And the background that I'm looking at right now is beautiful. It's a soft cream color. The white comes screaming out at you. I call it glare. You'll probably call it something else. But
right.
I like to subdue the background because it makes it easier for me to see.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And then the help desk information is already in here for your students. So they have those resources embedded in the template, because that's a question I get a lot. I can't get my technology to work, or I need technology help. The help link is already in there for them. So then when you click on modules, you can see here's that example module I was talking about that has the different examples. So like if you go to example quiz, excuse me, it shows you that this is what the example quiz is going to look like. And then you can go in and look at the different types of questions that are in there. What is happening? Sorry. Okay. We'll go back to modules. And then you have the start here course orientation. So if you click on what should I do first, it already has, again, remember you're only fixing what's highlighted. What is this course about? And then you can fill in this information here. It gives you a link to your syllabus so you can modify that as needed. Raleigh, did you have something to add?
No, I just leaned in.
Okay.
Thanks.
You've got your welcome, where you can put in information about yourself as the instructor. And then we already have your first meet and greet discussion in here. So because you're not meeting them face, oh my gosh, it's because I'm on the wrong Gmail. That's why it's doing this. I'm on my personal Gmail instead of my, oh my word, making me crazy pants. Technology, see, I haven't.
You
Okay.
should be able to click around in there because this is the demo course.
I know, but it's keeps asking me to log in as my son's Alamo talent. So then here's that page I was talking about netiquette, and it talks about not just the general rules, but it gives them a video because they like to watch videos to figure things out. So it gives them examples of what they should and shouldn't do. Like, this isn't the place like on social media to be ugly to someone if they make a mistake, right? No, you idiot, that's not how you spell that, or what a stupid question. That's the way they talk to each other on social media. So we need to make sure that we explain to them, this is online, but it's still a classroom. And we still have to be respectful of each other. And maybe they don't know, using all caps is the same as screaming someone online. Some people don't know that. And not everybody knows all the acronyms. So don't throw in all these acronyms. I don't know what some of these are. I know some of them. I don't know what's ROTFL.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
What? I love that you know that, Raleigh. I had no idea what that one was. I knew the other one. So, but they don't understand that you don't maybe know what those acronyms are. They need to use real words, just like they would in an essay that they turn into you. So, so that's some of those things. All right. And then the meet and greet discussion is already in there. And then you modify it to make it your own. So it gives you example questions, but then like Lance may want to ask something about biology related, do they have any experience with something? Or Jesus may want to ask if they speak any other languages, just to kind of see, since he's foreign language. I always ask a question about their experience in theater, because that's me getting to know them, but then they get to know each other as well. And so they start to make links, because that's what I usually do my first day in class face-to-face. So I don't know what everybody does, but usually we at least go around the room and we learn each other's names and something about each other, like maybe what year they're in, or why are they taking this class, or what do they hope to get out of this class. And we start to become a community in our classroom. And we talk a lot about that, right? About student engagement and how to do group work in our course and create that community in our class. And this is one of the ways we start, by having these class discussions. And then BioSig stuff is in here. We know we have to use BioSig at least on 3 assignments for an online course. And then all the student resources are here for them as well. We've also created this general question and answer discussion area. You don't have to keep that. This is just if you want to have a place, if anyone's got a question about anything, they can ask it there. And then kind of encourage your students to help each other. So if another student knows the answer, so if someone's like, hey, when is our project due? If other students can answer and answer correctly, oh yeah, it's due next Thursday, then they can start being accountable with each other. But then it also gives you a chance to answer where everyone can see. Now, this isn't the place to discuss grades or anything, right? If someone's like, I don't understand why I bombed that last test, then that's a like, hey, contact me privately. But this is a place for just general discussion back and forth. And I've seen it be very successful. with students. And then and I always watch it. And if they give the right answer, then I might be like hey, yeah, Sabrina was right. That's when it's due. Just to kind of encourage that answering each other thing.
This is in modules, right?
Yes. If you click on modules, you can see.
Okay. Well,
Question?
no, one of these days, I didn't know that students could put anything in modules, so I guess I learned something today.
Well,
Do you
so
have
when
a
they,
link to the discussion board or something?
yeah, so when you click on it, if it will let me just log in as me, and that will be the easiest option here. Yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to open this in my actual Alamo Google Drive.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know why it's being so stubborn. Yes, Riley?
It's worked for you before.
I know. I don't know why it's being like this. It's because I was in the wrong one. It wants me to log in as him. But that's not what I want to do. All right. So let's try this again. Let me open it. There we go. Now it's opening. We were having tuition issues this morning with my son. So that's why that one was open. Good times. All right. Here we go. Let's try this one more time. All right. So if I go to modules, I can already tell it's better because I can see everything. I was in student view, I think, in the other one. Yeah, so now let me come down to this discussion. So when they click on this discussion in their module area, it has the questions all in here. It tells them how to submit a discussion answer. And then they reply right here to and then they can see down the thread everybody's answers from that module page. So I love discussions. I actually have mine. They can add pictures to their discussion. They can include links to YouTube videos. They can add their own videos in there. Sometimes I have them share pictures of whatever project they're working on for like my design class in the discussion. The other thing the template has, and this I couldn't see it when I opened it in my other view, was there's this first module for you that just has resources for you as you develop your course. So it gives you an example of a history course so you can see what somebody else did. It has a course development checklist so you can make sure you've done everything you need to while developing your course. It has Canvas tutorials and support for you. So if you're trying to figure out how to do something in Canvas, if you click here, there'll be a link to help you find the right video to do that. And then this is the rubric that shows you what are our campus course guidelines and standards. So you can kind of see how you're meeting those standards and guidelines because you want your course to be accepted to teach online in the future. And then here's where your modules start. And like we said before, we give you the overview, the content, and the wrap-up page. And then you can add, delete from there. So the overview page is just kind of when you would start class, you'd be like, okay, so today, this is what our objectives are today. This is what we're going to do in class today. And then this is a list of how they meet those objectives. So you tell them, today we're learning about how to conjugate some verb or conjugating these types of verbs. And then these are their objectives. And then these are the activities they have to do to complete this module. So it's kind of like a little mini roadmap for them for that module. And some people do modules by the week. Some people do modules by the unit. It's just whatever works best for you. And then this is an example of a content page. And they don't respond to this page at all. They just go to this page and they read and they do whatever it has. So you can put a video of your lecture. You could put a PowerPoint here. You could put text and pictures here. You could link them to, maybe you use an external site. Like I know My Math Lab is a site that some math teachers use. So you could have some information here and say, today we're conjugating, what are we doing? Decimals, something with decimals, and talk a little bit about what they're doing, and then give them the link to the part of My Math Lab they need to go directly to do that assignment, right? Or maybe tell them, when you go to this link, make sure you're paying attention to this, this, and this. So this could be the content page could just help them connect to whatever exterior source you're using. And then additional resources is always great here. So maybe they need a periodic table for what you're doing in that module. So give them a link to a periodic table or to a formulas chart or to whatever resource they could possibly need to help them with that unit. Maybe a video of something. And then a wrap-up page. And the wrap-up page is what you do at the end of class face-to-face, right? You wrap up the day. You're like, okay, so you talk about, what you covered, and you talk about what you're going to cover next, right? So today we met these objectives, and next time when you come, we're going to be doing this, this, and this, because you want to inspire them to come, excuse me, to your next class. So that's what the wrap-up page does, is it kind of reminds them, this is what we did in this unit, and this is what we're going to be doing. So you kind of like entice them, right? You want to engage them for the thing to come. And you also want to show the connection between all your units, right? Your units that you teach aren't completely isolated, right? They all work together to teach your course as a whole. So we're trying to help them make those connections through this. All right, so that's the general one for online. And like I said, I also use this for my face-to-face. So what I do is whatever I do in class, I've got the module. So like my first week, my module's already there. And see, now I'm having to teach remote. So it's great. It's already online for me. So all I have to do is point them to online after the Zoom meeting. So like after class, I may post the PowerPoint so that then they can see it. So they still have to come face-to-face, and we do whatever work we do. But then I may go in and say, okay, so you can review it as you do whatever their homework is or whatever they're working on at home. They can still see the PowerPoint that I went through and refer to it as they're doing their assignment. So I go ahead and have all this. I also, like if we do an in-class discussion, I'll have a discussion online too. And so I'll say, if you missed class today, make sure you do the discussion online so that you can still get credit for it. Because I'm not going to go back and do that discussion the next time they come to class. So it gives them a way to be able to make up those assignments still. Because I rarely have just one student absent, right? Usually you have 2 or 3, and then those 3 will do the discussion online. Any questions about that one? I'll go back and show you the other one. All right, so back to the PowerPoint. So this is the link then for the hybrid one. And the main difference will open for me is how it formats face-to-face versus online. So you'll see it looks a little bit differently. We have a banner already for you here with Palo Alto College. Every college has its own banner. Again, you can delete any of this you don't want. If you want to put your own picture in, you're welcome to do that. You put the title up here. You've got some tabs here: course schedule, tech support, the Q&A discussion. They can reach from the home page here. And then again, you're just filling in the blanks like you did on the last one. It tells you how to get started. It has all the reference numbers for them to help them out. And then if you go to modules, you can see the Start Here module looks the same. We have the same thing here. We have resources to help you as you develop. Now, you're not going to publish this. See, it says here, do not publish this module. You can even delete this module when you go to publish your class if you don't want it anymore to be there. But this is just some instructions how to use this layout. Return to campus checklist, hybrid blended courses. What do you need to, the same checklist you had for the other one, but for this type of modality. How to use Canvas, accessibility techniques, and then how to embed different pages on here if you want to. And then this module has an example of all the different types of things you can do in this template, just like we had in the other one. So this shows you an example of these are the things we're going to do online, and then these are the things we're going to do in class. And so your students are very clear of what's expected of them outside of class and what's expected of them in class before they get to class. It has the same Q&A board for their Q&A community. And then the orientation looks the same. You've got your start here. You've got your course welcome, learning objectives, textbook materials, all the things they're going to need to know about how to be successful in your course. You have your introduction, your meet and greet here. BioSig again, because you are doing part online. So the district wants you to do at least 3 BioSigs for your online assignments that you have. And then student resources again. And then here's where it's very distinctive. So when you get to your modules, remember before our modules just had overview, content page, wrap up, because they were doing everything online. This one, each module is divided into kind of 2 sections. So you've got the overview of this is what we're learning in this whole unit, right? That's the same. But then first you're going to talk about these are just the online activities you're going to do. And so then you have pages of what are their online activities. And then these are all the in-class activities that we're going to do with dates. So it's very clear, this is what I'm doing online. This is what I'm doing in class. So they can't, because they will try to come to class, and be like, oh, I thought we were going to do that in class together. No, that was in the online section. You were supposed to do that before you came to class, right? Or you were supposed to turn that in online. I had that too. Students would come to class and they'd be like, how do I print this out and turn it into you? I'm like, well, you turn it in online. Go to your online section and there's a page there where you can turn it in. So if you look at this, that's the main difference is it's already divided up for you. So the overview is the same. You've got your learning objectives. You've got all the tasks, but even here you divide it up on your overview page. This is what we're doing online. This is what we're going to be doing in class. And then we go into our online materials. So this talks about their online materials. It tells them to refer to the overview page to see exactly the different activities that they're going to be doing. This is where you can put any content. So again, this is where you lecture, or this is where you give them their textbook. This is where the content comes in, right? How are they learning on this page? And then you can add a page to this section. So if you want them to take a quiz online or do a discussion online or turn in an assignment online, then you would add pages to this section for what is expected of them online. And then you can insert things here like pictures, links to YouTube videos or educational videos that you have. I use YouTube because there's just a lot out there for theater, so we use a lot of YouTube. I also love TED Talks. Often we'll refer them to TED Talks to watch. I know blogs are a big thing that English teachers sometimes use. So, and then here's information for you on the template of how do you embed those things. So if you want to embed a file, this will be the instructions to help you know how to do that. And then again, any additional resources. And some students are going to link on those and click on those and some aren't, but it's great to have them there because some students like me will click on all those links and they will watch all those things and it will help them. And then this is the section on what are we doing in class. And so this is where you can tell them this is what they have to have done before they come to class. This is maybe anything they're going to need to bring to class with them. So if that day you're going to be working on something where you need materials, they're going to need to bring materials, right? If they need to bring headphones to listen to something, if they're doing something auditory in your class that day, or, make sure you bring your script and a pencil. That's what's down a lot of times for me. Anything they're going to have to bring, or just an assignment completed. Make sure that you bring your answers to worksheet number 4 from the textbook or whatever they need to bring to class to have prepared. And then any sources that they might need down here to do that. So give them links or information that they need down there to be prepared when they come to class. And then again, the wrap-up page, this is at the end of the unit. So everything they learned, what they did in class and online. And then again, what's next? So that's the same as the wrap-up page from last time, where we just entice them, encourage them to be prepared for the next unit. So any questions on that one? Anything you want to add, Riley?
No, it's just the distinction between the two types of courses. We have the online course, which was built to be completely online. And then we felt when we all went remote, there was this thing about, well, I don't know how to think about building a remote type course where I do some stuff via online or Zoom versus I do some stuff kind of face-to-face or whatever. And these modules, the whole purpose of these modules is to help you think through that dichotomy. Like, what are we doing online and what are we doing face-to-face, whether that be just Zoom or face-to-face, literally. So that's the difference between these two types of course shells. That's all I got.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why, I'm just thinking, why would students take a hybrid class? Is it to give them more time so that they can do their own